Hello, 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 everyone. I am your host, Aaron Allegory, and this is another episode of Hungry, the podcast for creatives on the come up, by creatives on the come up. And I'm happy to introduce to you the inspirational artist, ICB.
Hi. Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a beautiful day. And thank you guys for tuning in to get to know me a little bit. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's lovely to have you on the podcast.
thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
So, can you give the audience a little rundown of what you do creatively? I know we just talked about it, but they don't. We be getting the gems behind the scenes. We
hmm
gotta we gotta enlighten them.
Yeah, so I am ICB. I am a creator. I make inspirational videos to inspire people to live their best lives and to understand that we are all on a journey to get to know who we are. And you don't have to give your power away and do anything. You don't need anything outside of you to live a full and happy life. So I create inspirational videos. I also have a background in event planning. But all in all, I just spread love and I want to bring people together so that they understand that we all creatively um, are unique and powerful and we deserve to just love ourselves.
Yeah, like once you have that knowledge of like this is how you should live, it's like you have to pass it on,
Mm.
you know?
And I'm learning every day. I'm like getting revelations every day, and I'm having to constantly remind myself that there's no need to really be stuck in a place that is hurtful or uncomfortable. Like I'm evolving, and I think that
Yeah.
whatever I learn along the way, I'm gonna pass that message along, and I hope that people receive it.
Yeah. Honestly, that's helped me a lot with just like dealing with anxiety is like
Mm.
remembering that you don't have to force anything. Like you can just like relax, breathe and like things will just come to you. Like it'll happen in its timing because a lot of times like I'll try to get things done like on a schedule or by a certain time or by a certain day or in a certain way and it just doesn't work out. And then it's easy to get defeated like that. Or it's easy to get like, especially being a creative, I feel like it's hard sometimes because you're betting on yourself and like you obviously want to do, or I won't say everyone, but I personally would like to sustain myself off of what I create. But the money isn't really important. The respect is more important to me. But it's I still live in the real world. So it's like, yeah, I want to do art and that's like a good thought, but I also need to feed myself and still have these things. So I impart in my mind, I'm like, I gotta work hard, I gotta hustle, I gotta do these things because I need this to make a certain amount of dollars, the dollars that will sustain my life so I can just do it carefree. And that can be something difficult to navigate that space, but letting it just like breathe and realizing that like you don't have to force anything. Or honestly, a lot of times I've been building this business and I procrastinate on some things. I ain't gonna lie. I've definitely procrastinated on some tasks that should have gotten
Second
done.
that.
Yeah, but like whenever I do like get around to it, I'm like, okay, cool. Like it worked out perfectly. Like it may not have happened when I thought it was
Mm-hmm.
gonna happen, but it's still happening and we're here.
Mm-hmm.
It all happens. Like I'm I've learned to really trust life and trust like this story, this journey that I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to pass that to people.
Absolutely. And like creativity essentially is abundance, right? Like is putting
Mm-hmm.
something out there. And when you are creative, like you want to be able to feed yourself. You want that abundance all around you. But like a lot of times, like, are you really or truly ready for what you're asking for? Because
Yeah.
if you're not, of course, you can mishandle the blessing, and you never want to do that. So trusting God's timing is crucial to being content where you are. We were just talking about like greed. Like you don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be so greedy for something that you lose yourself in the process of getting it. We're about evolving and getting to that next stage and to just be happy and content and recognize the birds in the sky and the trees and like because trees, if you look at leaves, they take their time to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Flowers, they take their time to evolve.
Yeah.
Plant seeds, we are nature, we're creation, so we have to give ourselves the grace to evolve.
Yeah. Oftentimes I feel like our consciousness gets in the way of that.
Consciousness or ego.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I feel like it's learning. I guess consciousness is learning how to deal with that, and
Mm.
that's been a whole journey for humanity in itself. Like learning how to deal with being able to analyze things and plan for the future. Because everything else, or nature doesn't like, nature doesn't, well, we don't really understand nature as well as we think we do because we can't perceive everything and can't communicate with everything. But like nature doesn't move, or we move a bit like differently, and I feel like that's why a lot of people have anxiety and we suffer so much is because we don't operate in like the natural by natural law a lot of the time.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
All right. So yeah, I feel like again you and I we could definitely have a spiritual conversation for hours on end. We could probably host a mukbang and have this going all day.
Absolutely. It's
Now,
healing too.
I know.
Like it's a reminder. It's like because
Yeah.
when we, well, this is forever. This moment in time is locked in. But if we, when we do leave, like we'll be like, we'll see something, we'll get tried, tested, and be like, oh, we just was talking about that. It's not even real. Like what's real is us in the present moment, where we're going and how we're going to get there.
Yeah. So let's get into our first topic of the podcast, which I love to talk about it just because it helps provide lessons for people and it gives people insight on real on things that are realistic. Because social media, it's very easy to get caught up in clips and very short blurbs, and people don't really talk about what things actually look like or what it looks like in real time. They just see the after image or the finished product.
For real.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know, Beyonce done had some corns on them feet.
Yeah. How about you? And people don't really understand like all the hours that goes into all of that just for that one performance. Like she performed on the Super Bowl. Like that one performance took months of planning, rehearsing, making sure everyone was in step. Like that was a lot, but it's a lot of work for something that lasts 25 minutes. That's all people see is the 25 minutes.
Okay. Go by so fast.
Yeah. But what is a struggle that you have faced and how have you overcome it?
So it's funny that you asked me that. I feel like a struggle that I've faced like my almost entire life is connecting, like having my heart and my mind be aligned, right? So for me, like mentally, like I've always been very like intellectual person. I've always kind of like had a direction to go in, like always been resourceful with the things that were around me, right? But as I got older, I guess like my heart wasn't in it. So like let's say like God would give me opportunity and he would tell me to do this, do that, put one foot in front of the other, and then my heart would be telling me like, oh, like you're not worthy. Like remember what happened? Remember that pain that you feel? Remember that shame that you feel? Remember that that person who told you weren't good enough from the beginning? Like you can't do this. So I would always kind of like get halfway there and then sort of like turn around or just kind of lay there and self-sabotage or be like lazy in a way and just like not necessarily take the ball home. And for me, I had to understand that I had to really purify my heart and I had to open up my heart to even myself. And I had to find forgiveness for myself, because if I don't forgive myself, I can never really truly evolve into my, I guess, like highest self, but just someone who executes.
Yeah, I feel you. Have you ever heard I guess I heard it a few days ago, which was when your heart and your head agree, go. Because it's so rare. It's so rare that like your head and your heart are on the same page for a topic. It's so more common to have one is your head's on one side, your heart's on another, and they're at war. But if they're both on the same page, you gotta go.
Unstoppable.
Just
can't nobody tell you nothing.
Don't even wait. Just go. Don't even wait. Just go.
And how I overcame that, right?
Or still overcoming, because everything's a journey.
Absolutely,
everything's a journey.
Absolutely, still overcoming till this day. Was I just had to start taking things into practice. Also, like reading my Bible and avoiding like as many sins as I can.
Discipline.
Discipline
Discipline.
of the mind as well. I feel like I actually kind of answered the question already, but yeah, just like really avoiding things that's like bad for me, acknowledging negative things, and just not being so hard on the fact that I seen that, I experienced that, or even that I thought that. Because I used to get a bad thought and I used to like take it on as my own, and that really would be taking me out. Because like I really just didn't want to, like I kind of just wanted to go to sleep so I didn't have to like think anymore. But when I learned that like there's a distinction, I can separate myself from entities in this world. And honestly, we live in a world full of spirits all around us. Like you could walk past somebody and have a thought and like it could be theirs. It cannot even be yours. Or it could be
intrusive thoughts.
Yeah,
literally.
like it could be connected to the intrusive thoughts was hard. I remember when in therapy, because I'm in therapy as well. But I remember when I made that revelation
congrats on
of
that.
intrusive thoughts.
A lot of people are still trying to get to that point where they're able to put in that work. So I want to applaud you on that, give you your flowers on that.
And they're just thoughts. They're it's a part of this world. It's a part of the worldly things. It's not necessarily at all who you are.
Yeah.
So don't take it on. Just continue to evolve, forgive yourself, love yourself, and move forward.
So our next question is, do you have advice? What advice would you give to your younger self? Is that the advice that you would give?
I think the advice that I would give to my youngest self is like, life is about learning who you are day by day, right? Who you are is not exactly what position you play in your family. It's not, like you're not like, what position you play in your family, what position you are to your friends. Like you are just on a journey to figure out who you are, to love yourself, and to be content with that. And I would also tell my youngest self that you are beautiful. Don't let anybody compare you to no one, and just continue to fall in love with the process of getting to know you.
I like that. We honestly, I'm gonna just dive right into our signature question.
Oh, snaps. I don't know.
So she was aware of the questions beforehand. She had a little time to brainstorm, but not this one.
Yeah.
The hungry signature question is always the hungry signature question is a surprise served on a silver platter.
Okay.
So what is the worst struggle meal that you've ever had, or what is the grossest thing that you've ever eaten?
What? Okay.
Shoot. It's called hungry.
I guess like pig feet out the jar.
Ooh.
My grandfather is real Southern. And he used to teach us how to like fry fatback and stuff like that. And he also taught me how to like gut a fish. But anyway, he like would buy like the pig feet out the jar, and I tried it once, and I'm like, ooh, that's disgusting. Yeah, it's so nasty.
You're stronger than me, because I would look at the feet and just not touch it. I'd be like, yeah, nah, you tripping. I'd be like, yo, you tripping.
I also want to plug, I'm a good cook, so ain't none of my food nasty today.
Oh, bad.
Probably I'll be messing up stuff. Nobody's perfect.
Okay, I was gonna suggest some cooking videos with that inspiration, but maybe not. I don't know.
Listen,
depends.
Stay tuned. You
never know. You never know.
I'm so weird. Like sometimes I'll cook and like I'll be like Rachel Ray with no camera, nobody's around. Like I'll just talk to myself while I'm cooking. I'm like, yeah, so just put a little bit of this in there and mix it up. And I'm like, well, maybe, of course that's down in the future.
Yeah. Listen, I be partying every time I cook. I be throwing music. I be drinking. Like I'm like, I can't cook with no.
That's a vibe.
Right. I need R&B when I'm cooking. Like
put love in that food.
Better than my foot.
That was a joke for anybody out there.
I'm not the funniest person, but I try. I don't always succeed, but I try. But this has been great.
Thank you.
So I'm so thankful that you came on the podcast and shared your truth and your story, perspective.
Well, thank you for having me. Can I plug? Something?
Feel free. If you got anything coming up, you do anything, plug away.
Okay. Hi everyone. You guys, if you want to, you can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is the ICB, so the with extra E, ICB. And I post every Tuesday and Thursday. a series I have going right now called Tips from a Perseverer, where I teach people just how to persevere throughout life, and I give the natural like tips and tricks of what I've learned along the way. And I just pray that you have what you need today, and on your journey forever and always, and that you're content with where you are at right now in life. So hit me up.
See, ICB, the creator, is very aligned with our audience, I feel. So this has been another episode of Hungry, the podcast for creatives on the come up, by creatives on the come up. We hope that you can take some lessons from today's podcast and implement it into your life. And most importantly, we hope that you have a great day. Peace,
Yes.
peace out, everyone.